The most important thing that we are doing for me in what we are doing is probably words, and it's always spoken or written. So everything that we're doing, it's like a museum project or text-based art or anything, it's always connected to words. We started working together in 2011, and we started writing texts. And I used to write before this, but on the paper. And so from 2011, we started to write off the paper. We didn't have much things to do. We had a car, we had whole city, and we had spray cans. We were just researching the city, searching for some different places, abandoned places on the suburbs around Tbilisi, and finding the places and putting this text there. You know, these were places that even maybe one person would go there per year, and there would be this writing. So this was one of the interesting part of the game, you know, not like doing for whom. Not doing for like these art scene people, but doing for, I don't know, anybody. All those working places, which were working places during Soviet time, were empty. And when those places become empty, they kind of become, in a way, sculptures. And for me, it was like also the place was a part of the work, you know. It was like, together with the text, it was becoming a question for me, like about different things, you know. But I also like the thing when you do something in public space, your idea is not so important anymore, you know. It's you don't have a text there, and then the meaning of those texts are changing with different people. Yeah, we never make up texts. It's like always ready-made text, kind of. We just take the text from internet, from programs, from social media, search for people, places and things, which was the Facebook thing. I'm feeling lucky, which was a Google, and etc. Yeah. I don't think that we should write new words. Yeah. It's enough. That was the questions about future. Yeah, like real questions, not poetic questions. What are the future of these buildings? What is the future of Georgian economy? What is the future of, I don't know, like all this after post-Soviet reality, after this crazy capitalism that we had, what is the future, to what we are going? But it can also be a poetic question, you know. Can we create a different future with words? So this was how we started, with words, but we also we were writing those texts. Also simultaneously, when we were invited to some exhibitions or festivals, to somewhere, we were doing the museum projects. Were some kind of, I don't know, disappeared knowledge, forgotten information that we were collecting and translating into different objects and showing it. First was, for example, the Museum of Superstitions. We collected the superstitions in one of the cities of Georgia, Batumi, and we showed those superstitions with found objects in abandoned bathhouse. In 2017, we started the Museum of Contemporary Art project, which is a museum on call. So in Tbilisi, there is no Museum of Contemporary Art. And we were working on a research for 1 year. It was a research about art in Georgia, so-called non-official art. We decided to share this information somehow with the public. And okay, we didn't have money, we didn't have a building, we didn't have a collection also. And also all these artworks, most of the artworks from this period has disappeared. All the paintings are like objects, installations, they are gone. I realized that I can tell the stories. So I can be museum myself. So it was even funny. Okay, now how people can find me. And we decided to make a Facebook page and put this delivery advertisement that you can call. Museum can visit your apartment. And we made a collection of our first collection, which was from 80s until today, different Georgian artists. And we had photo and video documentation of the works in a suitcase. People were calling us, we were going to the places, and we make like 2-hour tour in Georgian contemporary art. The most important thing is about telling the stories. So we're trying to discuss together with visitors or hosts. We're telling these stories with the help of art. It's turning every apartment that we go, every place that we go into temporary museum. So it's temporary, ephemeral in a way, and it's like every place can be a museum, and every place can be a space for art. And it's, you know, instead of this boring, silent, should not touch art places, it's much more interesting. Also for people, yeah. Our last project is about protest in Georgia. So from 1988 until today, we collected the slogans, the text that people are carrying on the protest, during the protests. And together with Indigo magazine, which is a cultural magazine in Georgia, they have the online platform. For this platform, we made a project with sound, with photos, and cut this text from the photos. So there is only texts. You can go through these 30 years. There are 105 texts, and you can read the history written in the street. So that's our last project. It's again connected to texts, and we're trying always to tell history or reflect the history or reinterpret the history with words and texts.